Hello and welcome to 5 Minutes in the Shed. Right, good news and bad news. Good news is that we can do a few more bits because I've got a few more parts. Bad news is my carburetor that I was working on yesterday, I made a mistake. Right, I read the instructions and very kindly someone pointed out my mistake on a comment on the YouTube video, which led me to check other things and find another problem. Let me show you what I found. Okay, let me take you to the on the bench to show you the mistakes I made with my carburetor cam. So tangled up with my wire again. Things I do for good sound quality. Right, so last video I rebuilt the monoblock carburetor. I was a bit distracted, to be honest. I had a right old row with my car insurance people, but that's over and done with, and I used rebuilding a carburetor to take me to a zen plane of enlightenment, and I'm okay now. So no, I'm not, it still grates, but that's a separate story. So things I need to do, right? I need to turn the heads on these BA screws down and cut a little bit off the length. They need to be 1.25 inches long, not 2 inches, or not 1.5 inches long, so they screw that on, right? So that's something I need to do. But what I did notice after referring to the book to check I'd done everything correctly, this book, right, I don't know where I got it from, picked it up at a Stafford show, something like that. It is the Amal Carburetor Settings and Spare Parts List 11th edition. I don't know if that's current, but it's very, very good. There's my carburetor there. And there is there is a missing component. Right, and it's a little bush here, number 18 on the diagram, which is listed as float spindle bush. Now, that's quite an important job, this little fella, right? And someone actually commented on my YouTube channel and pointed this out as well. Very keen eyes. Really important. It goes on the end of the float shaft here, and it stops the float sliding sideways. It sits between the outer cover and the float to keep the float in position. Important, because if the float comes out of position, it doesn't switch off the fuel flow. So I thought to myself, well, that hasn't been in there for years, right? Years and years. I haven't had this carburetor part for a long time, so it's been running for a very long time without it. Therefore the part must be superfluous. But no, it's not. It is needed, and I think if I put that extended float bowl on, I think this float might even come further this way. Does that mean that's why it doesn't tick over very well on the side stand? Don't know. Could be that very thing. Anyway, it wasn't there. It was missing. Been lost many years ago. Right. So, luckily, I've got a spare monoblock carburetor here, which was in my drawer. This came off my Triton. I replaced it with a concentric a long time ago because it's very worn inside. It's knackered, really. I kept it just in case, just in case. You can re-sleeve these, can make your own slides and stuff. There's a chap on British Motorcycle Mechanics, Greg, who has machined his own slides. Look fantastic. Yeah, one day when I'm retired and I've got loads of time. So what I've done is I've taken the side cover off this one. All right, so take these two BAs out. All right, and I had a look inside, and inside it's different to this monoblock. All right, so, and the differences are, let me highlight them to you. All right, so one is we do have that bush. Brilliant. So I can put that bush on there. So I put that on. Brilliant. The other thing, the float in this one, I don't know what the difference is in years. I mean, I know this is a much bigger carburetor, right? Because this is blowing fuel air into a 650, not a little 350. If I put this on the 350, I don't think, this poor old little 350 wouldn't suck the skin off a rice pudding, would it? Compared to a Triton. But in here, the float bolt, the float has got like this brass kind of attachment to the top. And you can see a witness mark on there where it presses the fuel valve. All right, so that's interesting because the one on my engine, me take this out for now. Right, doesn't have that. Mine's like a rounded job. Right, same part number actually, 376085, 376083. No, sorry, 376083. Both the same part number, it just must be a different year. This is kind of rounded and shiny and plastic, right? This one is like a more matte finish with this metal bit on top. This one's plastic, this one's metal. I kind of prefer metal. I like a bit of metal. Then the little valve which shoots the fuel off, this one is plastic. All right, and there are score marks on the top of it. It's not, you know, it's all right, but that's plastic. This one is a lovely brass one, right, with a Viton rubber tip, which I think is nicer. So I'm thinking I'll put that float and that needle in that carb because just better, right? In my mind. So looks more expensive. You know what I mean? Expensive must be better. So what I thought was I'll try it. All right, now I did try it. So I put the metal needle in and I put the metal caged float jobby in there. Made sure it all works and everything, which it does. Put the little bush on the end, and then I thought I'll test it. So I blew down here, and you can hear the air coming out, right? So you lift the float, and the air stops. But it doesn't, it only slows down. So I thought, needle's wrong size, or the float's the wrong shape, or something. So I thought, okay, I'll take it out. We can't do that. All right, bit of a shame. But there are different carbs. So this is a 376, and this is a 367. All right, this one's under an inch, that one's way over an inch. So I thought, okay, maybe we can't do that. So I put the original one back in, which is the plastic one, like that, and then I put the original float back in. And I thought, I'll just test that while I'm here. Blow in, lift it up, still blowing. Damn it. All right. So my fuel needle isn't seating. So I went through the diagram, and what I've done, well, I thought it's hitting the top. All right. Top stop is the tickler, because when you tickle it, it pushes the float down. I thought, oh, maybe I've missed a fibre washer off the tickler, and it's screwed in too far. And I checked it against this one. This one doesn't go in as far, so could possibly be that. But I think what it actually is I've put a fibre washer under that there, and there is no fibre washer on this one, and there is no fibre washer on the drawing. So I think I put a fibre washer on there, shouldn't be there, which means the needle has to go further up to seat it. So if I want to use the cool metal parts, which I do, I need to rectify that situation. Alright, so I'm going to have to take it apart again for a bit of rectification work. Actually, it's going to take me a while to do that. I'm going to take it all apart, put all the metal bits in, and I'll test it again. Let's see what happens. Okay, so after a bit of testing, a bit of tea drinking and stuff like that, I think that is better and it works and it shuts off now. So I can blow in here. And it shuts the fuel off. Awesome. So I'm going to put the plastic one in this carburetor, because you never know. That is where I'll keep all my spare parts for later, just in case. Just in case. Obviously the jets in here and stuff are the wrong size and stuff, but it's nice to have a source of spares. So just drop the screws in there so I don't lose anything. So this carburetor now, along with its little what was it called? It was called a number 18. It was called a float spindle bush. Along with its float spindle bush is now fully complete. Apart from put that in there. Apart from this extended float bowl. So the extended float bowl, I need to turn these down, and I need to turn these down to. Let's have a measure. Measure on the internal here. So that is just over 8mm. That is in there. So these are 9mm. So I need to take 1 English millimetre off these. Or could take 40 thou off. That's what we're talking about. I'll say 40 thou because my lathe is an Imperial. So I need to take 40 thou off the head of these screws. And I also need to reduce the length. The length on these is an inch and a half, and it needs to be an inch and a quarter. Right, so I need to lose 1/4 of an inch and 40 thou off the head. I'm going to do that on the lathe now. I will be back in 5 ticks. And as if by magic, we're back in the room, and I've got 3 short screws. Right, so short screw, gasket, and then that sits on there like that. Oh, look. Throw that in. This is going to look absolutely lovely. So 3 screws in. 2, 3. We're in. That one seemed to go down a long way. Right. And then that one in. Fantastic. There we go. Look at that. That is a proper bit of machining, that is. I didn't do that. Can't claim to have done that. But it does look very nice. It's got a bit of air cooling for the fins. It's going to fill it with fuel. It's going to keep the fuel cool so it won't boil off in the carburetor. Nice. Yeah, I had this out again because I was seeing how much thread came through the bottom, and I was measuring it, making sure I was doing the same so I wasn't going to bottom anything out in the hole. There we go. Right, now that looks absolutely spectacular, and it works because I've just checked it by blowing down the hole. Disaster narrowly avoided. I'm glad. I thought I'd just check the thing, check I've got it all right, and checking it, I thought, hang on a minute, there's a bit missing there. Don't recognise that bit. And I can't remember his name. The chap put a comment on my YouTube video as well. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. I don't mind criticism. You know, we're all enthusiastic amateurs here, right? And yes, very pleased he told me that. So good stuff. Air cleaner. Right, now air cleaner needs a wash. Going to give that a wash with some brake cleaner, alcohol. This filter, I bought this in 96 or something. it's old. And the paint's all blistered off the front. I can't put that on, can I? It's going to look terrible. Blistered. I mean, look at that, right? This is looking absolutely spectacular. And then I'm going to put that on with some rusty old... No. So that's going to get painted. Little painting job for me. There. So that's going over there in the painting pile. This can go back in the drawer to be used in case of emergency in the future. Right, carburetor, that's all right. So I'm just going to put this to one side over here. That's I do need to clean the top of it. It's starting in on the bike on the throttle cable. My Amal book I can put away again for the time being until it doesn't run right, and then I need to check my settings. Although I've set it to exactly what it was before, and it was running fine before. Right, so I've run out of tea. Right, what can we do next? Let's have a look at what new parts we've got. So, in the post, I got... In the post, what did I get? Let's have a look. What's in here? Oh, there's no sex aids or anything in here that I haven't opened yet. Oh right, so I've got two seals. I've got one for this, which is the slightly bigger one, and I've got the smaller one, which is for my points. Right, for my points cover. So I've got points cover seal and main sprocket cover seal thing. That needs to be done. I can do that. All right, this can get put away. Got to be careful with this because I've got my address on it. I don't want to be showing you guys my address, unless you're invited, of course. Anyone who wants to visit my shed, more than welcome. If you want to come and be a guest star. Right, we'll go in here. We've got barrel studs. Look at those bad boys. Right, barrel studs. They go with the barrel nuts and washers that are made because they're not in the right size. Lovely. They're almost ready to go on. Need the little ferrule things that go with those. Just check, got everything out of that package. It's all there. What else have we got? What else have we got? What else have we got? Also got, what's in there? Oh, look at this. Another shiny bit. Oh, it's turning into one of them YouTube unboxing videos again, isn't it? Alright, so in there we've got absolutely nothing. All right. In here we've got kickstart spring. Look at that. Kickstart spring. That's to go in there. Alright, then we've got the 4 big fat washers that go under the head bolts on the cylinder head. Brilliant. So we need the 4 big fat bolts that go under the cylinder head. On the cylinder. Oh there, look. Brand new head bolts, full set. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Right, so we've got those. They're going over there in the brand new head bolt pile. What's this we've got here? Oh, that's the kickstart spring can go there. And the broken kickstart spring here can go in my not using it parts tray. What else we've got? Woodruff key and a Woodruff key. One of them goes in here. This one, I think, goes in here. And this one goes in there. Oh yes, I've got Woodruff key for both sides. One there, one there. So I can put the rotor on, I can put the bottom cam pinion on. Lovely. What we've got here? Oh, we've got here, I don't know if you remember, when I took this apart, there's a lot of water in there. I think it's because I didn't have this rubber thing here on the clutch cable. So I've got a rubber thing for my clutch cable. Do you like rubber things for your clutch cables? Brilliant. That can go in there. Also got rubber thing, brand new kickstart rubber. Oh yes. Someone did mention on my channel or on a photo that mate, you want to get a kickstart rubber, otherwise you're going to hurt your leg. Alright, go on. So got a seal there as well. I think I ordered an extra seal and Pat had already sent me one, so I've got a spare seal there. Anyone needs a crankcase seal, give us a shout. Right, so I thought I had metal in, but I didn't. It's okay. Right, empty packaging. Cover my address up, you don't want to see that. Right, put that over there. What else we got? What else we got? It's not it. That's not it. There's more. Ah, we've got clutch time, right? We've got the rubbers, which go in the clutch centre. I haven't even inspected them, but I'm going to change them anyway. And I've also got a thrust washer, right, and I'll show you why. I was looking at the clutch. I bought a new clutch boss centre. Don't know what you call it. You may remember I broke mine, taking it off, bang, because I didn't have the proper puller. Cheated, backfired on me, bad news. These look exactly the same, right, in every way, every dimension, apart from one. And that one dimension is that this edge is machined down here and here. Now, the thrust washer on this one has got big tabs that stick out the back of it. This one hasn't. Now, this one, when it sits on there, it sits on here. There's two great big holes where those tabs sit inside, and it holds it in place like that. And the tab washer builds it up, builds that step up to be the same sort of thickness kind of thing there, right? And then that then runs, not in there, that then runs against the back of that. That's kind of where it sits. So I got this new one. It hasn't got the big holes for this thrust washer, right? If you turn it over, it does actually fit, even though it's a much smaller recess than is on this one. Right? So I thought, oh, maybe I've bought the wrong one. Maybe I've got to get one of these ones, bought the wrong one. Can't find at what point in time they changed. They must have changed. 63 was like a crossover, 3T80 Tiger 90, stuff like that. It's a bit weird. 63 is a weird model. It had Siamese pipes on it and a skirt, and it was the only year they did that, and it's a bit strange. So this is of 64, which I assume is okay. 64 had the 3-spring clutch as well. So I'm going to forget about that thrust washer, because that lives with that one, and I've bought a new one which is exactly the right size for that, which is just enough to space that there away from there, like that. And then the rollers sit inside there, and it kind of runs on that. So that's ready to go on. We can put that on. So that goes on there, rotor goes on there. So we've got a bit to do on the left hand side of the engine, got a little bit to do on the right hand side of the engine. Got a kickstart spring there, which means we could put that cover on if we wanted to. We've got the cam pinion, crank pinion we can put on there, and we've got these rubbers for the clutch as well. This is going in the not going to use it pile. I'm bouncing around to stuff because I'm still waiting for various parts. I'm a bit scattery, you know, I'm a bit more organised than this normally. So clutch centre here, that goes in the middle of the clutch. Now anyone with Japanese bikes and that knows there's a cush driver in the back wheel, takes the fight out of the transmission. These have them in the clutch, it's in there. All right, and the rubbers sit inside here. All right, something like that. All right, and there's like a 3-prong thing. Looks like a flux capacitor out of a DeLorean. So I need to unscrew that cover off there and get the old rubbers out, which sounds easy, can be a bit of a challenge. In fact, I bought a torque wrench specifically for this job a few years ago. So I reckon I've got a few things to do. What am I going to do first? Am I going to jump to the clutch, or am I going to go back to the engine? I'll tell you what, let's go back to the engine. Right, I'm going to put these new rubbers in here and calm myself down a little bit, and I'm going to finish this side. Right, because when I've put this crank pinion on, I can put the oil pump on. So I reckon crank pinion, oil pump, make sure the timing is right. That's what I'm going to do first. Before I do anything else, crank pinion, cam timing. That's the way to go. That's the future. So that's what I'm going to do now. Cue the music. Okay, so that's all the pinions on now. Cam pinions, cams timed, oil pump on, all lovely jubbly. I actually took the papery stuff out of here for a moment because I was turning the engine over because it's so nice to see. So I'm going to show you live on camera. Let me move this over a bit so you can actually see what's going on. I'm assuming you can see there. Let's have a look. Yeah, that looks all right. Let me zoom you in a little bit. There we go. Move it there and up just a touch. Oh, look at this. All this fine adjustments for your viewing pleasure. Right, there we go. Right, now then, so I'll put that on there. Oh, look at that. Look at it. It's amazing. Everything's smooth and loose. Well, not loose, you know. Everything's got tight actually for a 60-year-old engine. What we're getting on there? There we go. Here we go. Look at that. Shouldn't really run engines backwards like this, but I want to get the timing marks back to where they were, which is there. Lovely. Very pleased with that. Actually, the cover could go on now, but I'm going to leave it open for now just in case I need to do anything. You never know, do you? You never know. Timing chest. That's done. Brilliant. Got to do a bit on the transmission. Got to do a bit on the clutch. Waiting for a couple of more bits for the clutch, and then I'm going to do a whole clutch rebuild job on it. So that'd be great, and hopefully my little dowels will arrive, and that means I can put the barrels and pistons on as well. So we'll have this will be finished, the clutch will be finished, the alternator at the front will be finished, barrels and pistons will be on, be like a complete engine moving around and everything and all that. It's going to be so exciting. Right, so I'm going to call it a day for today. So there you go, it's a day. Thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll be back soon. Thanks, bye.